Well, we're back in beautiful Las Vegas. Welcome to the Ice Desk at 2021 Guaranteed Rate Skate America. I think we can breathe a little easier now after seeing those first two events of day two here in Las Vegas. Join with me on the Ice Desk today, Polina, Mirai. You know what? We saw a lot of great skaters out there over the last few hours here. What first thoughts that goes through your mind? I mean, there's a lot, I think, as we were sitting here saying, what is the first thing that we're going to say here? Paulina, what's going through your mind right now after seeing those skaters out on the ice?
Yeah, it was really exciting watching the ice dancers do their rhythm dance. So many great programs. They were having so much fun. And then the ladies as well, we saw a lot of great skating. Personally, a little bit lost on some of the scoring, but yeah, we'll talk about it.
And Mirai, how about for you?
I mean, I think that it's clear that ladies, we understand a little bit more, or women's skating, they call it now. But the rhythm dances, I was really getting into the vibe of the audience, and I think that it was such a clear difference from last season. And I, for one, really enjoyed Billie Eilish from Maddie and Evan Bates, Chuck and Bates, and then Hubble and Donahue's Janet Jackson. I'm not clear on Janet Jackson's songs, but I fell in love.
And I think we're going to talk a little bit more about that as well a little bit later on, and even talk about, Paulina, how you mentioned some of the standings that we're seeing. Maybe we'll be able to get into a little bit about some of the performances that we see. But I think we want to show the ladies' standings right now. That was what we just finished off here. Again, a lot to take in. Alexandra off the top, starting in first place. And you can see that listing here onto the second group. We have Amber Glenn as well as Star Andrews, Audrey Shin are going to be followed in that second group of standings, but your top six are what you're seeing right now. And I think the first thing that we want to talk about, the very last event that we saw, the last skater out on the ice, was Trusova. I mean, it was a beautiful performance. Paulina, what do you have to say about how she skated here tonight?
Very nice to see Sasha skate so strong. She came out, she did what she needed to do here. Personally, I would like to see her continue to develop, the second mark of her skating, develop more presence with this program, and it is early, so she has all season to do that. But job well done here.
And Mirai, how about for you? I mean, she looked beautiful on her ice, her arms. I mean, landings were really nice here, and I think ultimately that's why she did end up in first place, but I'd like to hear from you, Mirai, a little bit more about this.
Yeah, so her triple-triple scored the highest out of the triple-triples today, a whopping 13.22. Here it is. You can see that it's so easy for her, and it's hard to imagine that she can do a full rotation on top of that. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to attempt it today because she's limited in the shore, but overall, such a strong performance.
Now, one thing that I do want to switch over to, Yalim Kim, right? She ended up lower in the pack, which I think the three of us were all a little surprised about. Paulina, I saw that you tweeted out on social media. You said that her triple Lutz, triple toe was incredibly impressive. What were your thoughts when you saw that?
Her triple Lutz, triple toe was the best of the event in my opinion, solely for the ice coverage and just the technique. She is so solid, covers so much ice on that jump. She does the rip-on hands as well with both hands over her head. Wow, amazing. So definitely a little confused to see her scoring in sixth here with that clean skate under some skaters who made mistakes ahead of her. So interesting.
Now, Mirai, I want to talk just a little bit more about this. Free skate will be tomorrow. Are you hoping that with the jumps that she has and how far she's able to jump, especially in that one that you saw, the triple Lutz, triple toe, do you think that there is some room for her to grow in the free skate tomorrow?
Yalim is a beautiful skater. I, like Polina, thought that her triple Lutz, triple toe was the best of today, and it scored 11.79, which Young Yu also scored. Personally, I think I would have given it a little bit more positive GOE just because watching it live, just the coverage of that Lutz and the toe, the size of both of those jumps, it was so flawlessly done. So going into the free skate, I do hope she does that same quality of triple-triple so that she can move up in the pack.
Now, we were talking about earlier on today, before we saw the ladies take the ice, the big question was, is Amber Glenn, was she going to throw that triple axel or not? Now, we saw her perform. She didn't throw it. Polina, what are your initial thoughts on that?
You know, talking to her during the practice day on day one, it was clear that her strategy for this event in particular, and I think the start of the season, is to really show consistency. So I'm guessing the high risk of the triple axel is something she is not feeling comfortable with quite yet at this point in the season. But I know that she was definitely a little nervous today. We talked about it after her performance. She has not really gotten to compete on an international stage last year, obviously. So many skaters haven't because of the pandemic. She was not at Worlds last year, so she didn't have that bit of experience. So this is really one of her first events back. So to be able to stay on her feet at this event, I think, is great for her, and I hope that she can bring that mental toughness tomorrow in the free skate.
And Mirai, I just want you to speak more on your personal experience to this. I mean, you more than anyone know what it's like to throw a triple axel in competition. So you know the pressure that goes behind that as well.
Absolutely. It definitely takes time to get used to the adrenaline, and unfortunately, you can only practice it under pressure in front of people. And so I respect your decision to go for a clean program. However, it was a little bit tight. You can see that the toe is a little bit smaller, and I know that she is so much capable of so much more. And I would argue to say that she has the most talent of the U.S. ladies. So for her to put out this performance where she's focusing on fighting until the very end and to put together this performance today, she should be very proud of herself.
Well, and she is the leading U.S. lady currently. And I thought another thing to note, too, a lot of people are talking on Twitter, she got very emotional at the end of her performance. Many people stood up, cheered her on. And Polina, just as you mentioned, going off those nerves, it must have been a lot at the end of her program. That release, what's that feeling like to just end the program, give your bows, and then to be able to go over to the kiss and cry?
I can definitely say if you stay on your feet for the whole program, you definitely feel a sense of relief.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that she was feeling that. You know, the tight landing on that triple loop, she's probably a little bit hard on herself for that. But
Sure.
Really, just staying on her feet is so important. And she set herself up well for the free skate tomorrow.
And following into that, Mirai, the setup for the free skate tomorrow, any expectations that you have? What are hoping leading into tomorrow's senior ladies free skate program?
I want to see a ton of quadruple jumps, but the rumor is that Alexandra Trusova does have a little bit of a leg injury, and she didn't show up for her practice yesterday. So I am questioning what her mindset is currently, but she has a strong lead over the rest of the pack, and she's been steadily competing this season. She already pulled a program with 5 beautiful quads. In Boston at the Senior B, it was a little bit lacking, but her practices were so strong, and so I'm really looking forward to tomorrow.
Tomorrow is going to be a big day ahead of us, but I think we should switch over to ice dance as well. We saw that earlier in the afternoon today, and right off the top here, I mean, this was one of the favorite moments of the night. Not necessarily a technical thing, but just something fun that got the audience going. Yehor and Molly, okay, they did the worm on the ice. Oh, come on. How cool is that? I think we heard a lot of gasps in the audience, some laughs, some cheers. This is what it's all about. It's not just about the technical score, but for ice dance, it's about having fun too, letting loose. Polina, what were your thoughts when you saw something like that out there?
I personally loved their program. They also skated to Beyonce, and the whole time I was just thinking, ice dance is so fun because I can't imagine a single skater really skating to that. But in ice dance, you kind of get more freedom to have those funky music choices. And yeah, the worm, their whole performance, electric.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Now, I want to bring up what those full standings are looking like currently. Lots of standouts here. I mean, listen, we've got 2 U.S. teams in the lead right now. I mean, point-wise, between first and second, very close, and point-wise between third and fourth, very close as well. So it'll be interesting to see what that lead-up is going to be into tomorrow. Now, Mirai, I'd like to hear from you. What stood out for you within the ice dance performances? Any couple in particular that really made you say, wow, this was a great performance?
I mean, I obviously am so proud of our own Americans. Just the two performances that they put together. When you see it live, you can really see the ice coverage and the empowerment. And I was in awe because the twizzles were in unison, the lifts were so impressive, and they were hitting every single beat. And I think that as single skaters, sometimes we, get distracted by our jumps, but with ice dancing, they are so focused and so committed to their programs, and that's something that we single skaters should really learn from.
Now, Mirai, I also want to continue this. You spoke to Hubble and Donahue, I believe this was yesterday or maybe earlier on today, after their rhythm dance, I should say, and they did have lots to say. What was it that they had to tell you?
They said that compared to last season, where it was ghost town out here, it was so much fun for them to come out and perform. And they said that this arena is really special to them because their choreographer actually worked on the Janet Jackson tour, which they rehearsed for right here at the Orleans. And so this is a special arena for them. They also mentioned going into their free skate that they're excited to put this lift in that is so difficult. I can't wait for everyone to watch it because it just jaw-dropping. And they're asking for names for the lift because they worked on it for over a year. Zach's mentioned the American Eagle, which Maddie shut down immediately. So viewers, if you have any suggestions, slide into their DMs because they're looking for a new name for their lift.
Now, I'm seeing a note here that they've actually said that it's their final season competitively as well. So I'm kind of expecting them to hold nothing back leading into tomorrow. Paulina, what do you have to say about that? I mean, when a skater is going, or skaters are going into potentially what could be their final season, there's a lot of pressure on them. Or maybe it's something that could, they're looking at it as maybe it's a more fun thing for them to end out their final season together.
I definitely think there's that final pinch where it is a final season. So for them, they really want to leave nothing on the table. And that's amazing feeling to be able to go and compete and just put your full energy out. It's what every skater wants, obviously. But when you're finishing off your career, it's, even more important that you really tune into that.
Now, I think we want to talk a little bit about Chuck and Bates as well. Mirai, what were your thoughts when you saw them step out onto the ice, their overall performance?
With with skating in general, music is so important, and they really hit the mark with their music edits. The way the program started with, I can't sing, but bad guy, I was just like, yes, Billie Eilish. And just the way that Maddie embraced the character, it just looks so good the whole time. Everything from the packaging, the green, I especially love the detail on the gloves. She has individual rhinestones that look like claws, and she really uses them to embody the bad boy vibe. And so you can tell that they're one of the best.
Wait, and don't forget, we made this note earlier, but I think we'd be amiss to not say it again now. This program is brand new. They've only been skating with us for, 5 weeks? That's impressive, to say the least.
You can't even tell.
It's unbelievable. It almost makes you not know what to say. I don't think that I'd be able to do a program in 5 weeks and then come out and be able to place as good as they did tonight. It's just really incredible. And so right now we're seeing obviously the two top U.S. teams in the first and second place spots. But then we have Canada in third and Spain in fourth, and they also are very close in terms of standings. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how that'll stack up tomorrow night between Canada as well as Spain, to see just how close they're going to end up. We have some highlights for you here with Olivia and Adrian. Polina, just an incredible performance. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I loved Olivia and Adrian. First of all, I love her dress so much, and I want it in my closet for non-skating purposes, honestly. But she skates so freely. That's what I really felt while I was watching them live in the arena, and so does he. And so for me, their performance was phenomenal for that reason. They just really killed it out there.
And she's been in the circuit for so long. It's nice to see her mesh so well with Adrian, and I'm interested to see how things turn out tomorrow. That there's only about a point difference again between her and the Canadians, so you never know what that spot could end up come tomorrow night for their next performance. Now, lots of skating left on the schedule as well. Any final thoughts as we head into later tonight as well? Still lots to go on, and fortunately, or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, we are not going anywhere anytime soon. No sleep for us, to say the least. Here's the schedule for you here on the screen. Just lots going on. Polina, how do you feel about this? Are you excited for tonight?
I'm very excited. It's going to be a packed night of amazing skating, especially finishing off with the men. I can't wait to see some quads.
Now, later on this evening, we're actually going to be speaking to Brian Boitano, which I know I'm personally very excited about, as well as Polina and Mirai. He's going to have a lot to say for us later on this evening. So to find out all of that information, you can come back right here to Facebook or YouTube to get all the latest information for more Ice Desk later tonight. And don't go anywhere, because this isn't stopping anytime soon. We are full speed ahead and lots more to come. So stay tuned on social media, and we'll have more for you later on tonight. Thanks.